So what a crazy week for football last week. You had Texas A&M get beat by Appalachian State. You had Notre Dame go down to Marshall. You had Tennessee and Pittsburgh. That was a really good game. BYU and Baylor really good in the nightcap. So a great week for football. But this week we're back at it. We got Florida State versus Louisville. And this game's going to be in Louisville on a Friday night. And at first glance, it almost screams trap game as, Florida State's playing on the road. They just came off that big win versus LSU. And then to go back home and play Boston College, I believe it is, next week. So this just has the makings of a game where a team could, potentially not fire their best effort. And you don't know how Florida State's going to play this year. It's still kind of early in the season. They've had those two good wins. But we're going to talk about Louisville first. And, Louisville's going to be led by Malik Cunningham. He's their quarterback. I think as he goes, Louisville goes. And he had a really good season last year. He threw for almost 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Very good ratio there. He also had over 1,000 yards rushing. So, yeah, he has the makings to be a very dynamic quarterback. So far this year, he hasn't really came out the gate too strong, as he hasn't even thrown a touchdown pass yet. Has 2 interceptions. He has ran for 155 yards, but that's kind of his mojo. He's going to be a running quarterback. He's going to, be able to avoid sacks, make the defenses work, and I think that could potentially give Florida State some trouble. And that's taking nothing from Florida State. They played very good, on that side of the ball this year. LSU's quarterback, was he would take off and run, but oh no, I thought Florida State did pretty good. Florida State's led by Jared Verse, Jamie Robinson, Keem Dent, Mari Gaynor. Very good defense. And then Florida State also has a quarterback thrown, I think, that can keep up, in Jordan Travis, who has just taken steps forward over the last 2 or 3 years. He actually came over from Louisville, so this will be a return back there for him. And if you've seen him, a couple years ago, this man just struggled. Like it was a pain watching him throw. We all knew he could run, but now it looks like he's kind of taking that step forward to be able to be a very good quarterback, getting the ball down the field. Is Florida State's offense didn't like it really stalled that much against LSU, and it looked even better against Duquesne. But we're going to talk more about the LSU because Florida State's supposed to beat Duquesne. LSU is the one where all Florida State was going to lose. Reality is going to come crashing back down. But it didn't happen. Florida State, honestly, in my opinion, like the much better team in that game. And they had issues closing out the game. I like to see it go up, finish cleaner than it did because Florida State was up by 14, middle of the fourth quarter. But, still they was able to win the game. And without that fumble by Ward and, at the 1 yard line, they would have, probably ended up winning by at least 10 points. So, very good effort. You just got to be wary that the game is in Louisville on a Friday night. And if you follow Florida State Louisville, Louisville has a history of being a pain in the neck against Florida State. As I can remember when Florida State was down like 28-7 in 2014, and Jameis Winston, led the comeback to win the game. And Florida State would shut down the first half, and then after halftime they would just kick it on and play like a different team. And I also remember 2016 when they won the opener against Ole Miss, and then it was supposed to be, a top 5 showdown in Louisville, Lamar Jackson, and they just embarrassed Florida State. It was like 62-14, or it was some ridiculous score. But you got to be worried that Louisville, has a history of beating Florida State, and this could have the making of that trap game of Florida State, coming off the big win, and then, being able to go home next week to play Boston College, I believe. So, but my prediction for the game is I think Florida State's going to be able to get the job done. I'm a little, it's not the most confident bet. I do like that the spread is only 2 points. So, you could take Florida State probably to cover the spread and be fine. Do worry about that over-under at 54.5. I think Florida State could, being on a true road game for the first time, maybe have a little bit of issues on some areas trying to move the ball. I think if they can establish a good ground game, they'll be able to do good against Louisville. As Louisville has just not been impressive defensively the first couple of weeks. And if that could happen, Florida State should be able to coast to a game. And you got to start wondering if Florida State can go 3-0. Could they potentially get in that top 25 for the first time? And then if they can get there, then, I think they should be good, probably going 5-0 in their matchup against NC State. And they could have the makings of, a really good season where Florida State football matters for, them and the fan base. But I'm going to go with Florida State to take it, but also worry that Louisville could pull off the upset on a Friday night at home. And thanks for watching, guys. More to come.